Yeah, good morning. So today will be the blended lecture wherein I'll be using whiteboard and marker as well as PPTs to have some discussions over there. So let's start. I hope the whiteboard is visible clearly to you guys. Please stop me if you are finding it difficulty. So we'll start with today's lecture. So today, let's see. Uh, Welcome to Analog Circuits, and this is lecture 37 from module 4. Now, in all the previous lectures, what we have tried to discuss was uh, we try to kind of discuss the importance of op-amp and its different configurations, specifically the voltage series and voltage and feedback configuration. And then we discussed about the various aspects of gain in input resistance, the output resistance, all those aspects. Now, today in this lecture, in fact, in the last lecture, we had a small discussion on the applications of the op-amp as well, wherein we started with the summing amplifier, the averaging circuit, and the weighted or the scaling amplifier. So basically, when we talk about the applications of op-amp, the applications can be categorized into two things. One is what are the applications that are present in the inverting configuration, and what are the applications that are present in non-inverting configuration. So when we look into various applications with respect to inverting as well as non-inverting configuration, each configuration has got the similar applications, but the only difference being the gain equation will be different, and the in the inverting the output will be 180 degree out of phase, whereas here in the non-inverting it will be in phase with respect to the input. So that is the major difference that you can find with respect to both the applications. Now, when we started with the inverting applications, we got through the summing amplifier. Then we tried to figure out what was averaging circuit. Then we looked into something called as weighted amplifier, right? So in all these applications, the configuration was not inverting. Now the same applications can be even applied to non-inverting configurations as well, and all these applications will remain the same things with respect to the non-inverting configuration as well. But we'll see how exactly the difference happens with respect to non-inverting configuration when we try to draw the circuit. Now let me just draw the circuit of the inverting configuration that what we have discussed. So in the inverting configuration, what we have discussed, we try to draw the op-amp, and whatever the input what we try to give was towards the inverting terminal. And we gave the input V1, V2, V3 with resistance R1, R2, R3, and there was a feedback resistance over here, and I took the output over here. So this was my basic configuration with respect to inverting. So this was my inverting summing amplifier, and the same circuit will be modified into averaging amplifier or averaging circuit and weighted amplifier circuit, provided you modify the values of R1, R2, R3. So that's what we have learned in the previous lecture. So now let's move ahead and try to discuss something about the non-inverting configuration and how exactly the circuit looks, and we'll try to draw the circuit with respect to non-inverting configuration, and we'll try to present before you what exactly or what are the features that are available in the non-inverting configuration. Now, as the name says, non-inverting configuration, the basic circuitry would look something like this. So let us try to understand the non-inverting summing amplifier. So this is how the basic circuit diagram looks. So I have three inputs being given at the non-inverting terminal, which are named as VA, VB, and VC, and the resistances are. I'm going to take the resistance as R A, RB, RC, and there is this resistance R1, and I have a feedback resistance RF, and voltage, output voltage taken across the load resistance. So if this is the scenario, so basically this is my non-inverting summing amplifier. So I have the input voltage VA, VB, VC connected to the node P1, and the resistance is connected between the input voltage VA and V1 are RA, RB, RC, and output voltage is taken across the load resistance RL. So if this is a scenario, now let's try to understand how exactly the output voltage equation looks. Now, in all these voltage terminals, there's a current flowing over here, so which is basically my I1, here is my I2, and here is my I3. So if I try to apply Kirchhoff's current law, which I usually do it for inverting the summing amplifier configuration, so how does my current looks? I1 plus I2 plus I3, and this should be equal to some current. In my inverting configuration, I said this current is equal to IF, because all the current that is entering to one node, particular node over here, which was exiting from this node towards output voltage or towards output terminal through the resistance RF, and that was the reason I equated I1, I2, I3 to IF. But right now all these currents are entering over here, this node, and they are sort of entering the inside the op amp. But inside of the op amp, it has got a huge resistance, and as a result of this, no current will enter the op amp, and therefore all these can be equated to zero. Although some current will enter, but it can be again nullified to zero, or it can be equated to zero, because the current that is entering inside the op amp is negligibly very small. Now let's try to express the currents in terms of voltages, the way how we did for the inverting configuration. So I1 can be written as VA minus V1 by RA plus VB minus V1 by RA or RB plus VC minus V1 by RC. So this is equal to 0. So now I know VA, I know VB, I know VC, because they are the input voltages which are in my control. What about V1? V1 here, I don't know what is the value of the V1. But can I apply the concept of virtual ground? So from the concept of virtual ground, can I say V1 is equal to V2? So if I know what is V2, then I can equate it to V1, and then I can say that V1 is also having the same value as that of V2. In that scenario, what is V2 then? V2 can be applied or can be obtained by using the voltage division formula. V2 is equal to R1 multiplied by V0 divided by R1 plus RF, isn't it so? So if I can apply the voltage division rule over here, so V2 is nothing but R1 multiplied by V0 divided by R1 plus RF. So if this is the case, then V2 or V1 will also be equal to the same value. So let us substitute this, let me call it as equation number 2, and let me call this as equation number 1. Substitute 1 in 2. If I do that, let me just consider only one particular current. Let me do it for only one I1. So VA minus V1 by RA. So let me do the substitution. So that will result into VA minus, what is V1? R1 into V0 divided by R1 plus RF, all divided by this RA, which is over here. Now let me do the simplification over here. If I do the simplification, that will be giving me a value VA R1 plus VA RF or let me do this way. So I'll just rub this portion, or maybe I'll rub this circuit. So I1 can be given as VA R1 plus VA RF minus V0 R1, which is over here, 4 divided by R1 plus RF multiplied by RA. So let me do a further simplification over here. VA times R1 plus RF divided by RA divided by R1 plus RF. What I'm going to do over here is I'm just going to take out VA out and then R1 RF here and bring down the denominator as it is, minus V0 R1 divided by R1 plus RF times RA. So this is what is my present value of I1. So let me rub this portion also. So let me simplify here. These two will vanish, and let me equate the things. VA by RA is equal to V0 R1 by R1 plus RF multiplied by RA. So this is what I'm going to get. So RA cancels out. So what is V0 in terms of VA? So V0 is what? VA multiplied by R1 plus RF divided by R1. So this is output voltage only with respect to VA. If I do the same thing with respect to VB and VC, I'm going to get VB also as VB multiplied by R1 plus RF by R1. In that scenario, I'm going to get it as R2, right? If I'm getting R1 over here in VA, then when I do it for VB, it will be R2. When I do it for VC, it will be R3. So let us do one thing. Let R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R. So let me write here. VC will be, okay. So this is what I'm going to get. VC will be in terms of R3. So let me express. Okay, now we have VA is equal to V0 R1 divided by R1 plus RF. So from here, if R1 equal to R, then VA will be V0 R divided by R plus RF. Similarly, all are equal to R, then VB will be V0 R by R plus RF. VC also will be V0 times R divided by R plus RF. Let me add all these things because ultimately it is a summing amplifier. So VA plus VB plus VC would fetch me V0, or in fact it will be 3 times V0 R divided by R plus RF, isn't it so? Because there's 3 values are present over here. I am adding all of them. So finally, what will be my resultant value? So if I get output extracted from over here, V0 will be 1 by 3 VA plus VB plus VC, right? And I'll be pushing this to the right side, then this will be R plus RF divided by R. This is what I'm getting. So if I further simplify this, so let me rub this side. So if I further simplify this, my V0 will be equal to 1 plus RF by R whole multiplied by VA plus VB plus VC divided by 3. So this is what is the final equation I'm going to get for non-inverting summing amplifier. And just remember, whatever is the configuration, whether it is inverting or non-inverting, it will be the summation of the input voltages multiplied by the respective gain. But in this case, in terms of non-inverting configuration, one extra thing I'm getting is the division by 3. That term I'm getting. So this is your non-inverting configuration. Summation of all the voltages divided by 3 multiplied by the gain of the non-inverting configuration. So if I want to move ahead and try to calculate or try to understand what would be my application of non-inverting configuration in terms of averaging circuit or in terms of weighted summing concept. So you just need to ensure the RF and R1 terms should be made equal, and by that they'll get cancelled out. So this entire term cancel out, and whatever is the output you are getting, it will be acting as an averaging circuit. So this is how you convert the given summing amplifier to averaging circuit. And in terms of weighted summer ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ difference. R1, R2, R3 value ಎಲ್ಲದರಾಗೂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇರ್ತವೆ. Normally ನಾವು summing amplifier ಅಥವಾ adder circuit ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ what we try to do is we try to keep R1, R2 at the end of the derivation. See, whenever we do the derivation, we try to keep R1, R2, R3 ಹಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. Finally, at the end of the derivation, we say that if R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 equal to some value R, or of all are equal to 1K, ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ all the resistances cancel ಆಗೋ ಸಂಬಂಧ ನಾವು ಸೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. So ಎಲ್ಲಾ resistance ಸೇಮ್ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it will be mere addition of voltages. So that is your summing amplifier. So let me put this here, and this is common whether it is inverting configuration or non-inverting configuration. If R1, R2, R3 are same, so this is your summing amplifier. Averaging circuit olaga, if R1, R2, R3 as well as RF are same, so that 1 plus RF by R1 or so that gain term is cancelled out. So that leads to averaging. In a weighted amplifier olaga, R1, R2, R3 all will be different. So that is the main difference between your summing amplifier, averaging amplifier, and the weighted amplifier circuit. So this is how your non-inverting configuration can be converted into different configurations which work like summing amplifier, averaging circuit, and weighted amplifier circuit. So now let's move into the next one, which is your subtractor, or sometimes it is also called as the difference amplifier. Now, in order to obtain the equation, or in order to find how your op-amp can be working as a subtractor, so I need to be changing this entire circuit. My circuit would look something wherein I'll be subtracting the two voltages. So ಎರಡು voltage na subtract ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ I'll be using both the configurations that are available to me. So that is, I'll be using both inverting as well as non-inverting configurations that are available. So this is how my the equation goes, the circuit goes. So this is my VB, this is my output voltage, this is my VA, and for convenience I'll be considering all the resistance to be equal to R, and of course there will be load resistance, let us not forget about that. So finally my output voltage would be something which looks VB minus VA. So this will be my subtractor. Now, because I am using both the inputs, or both the inverting as well as non-inverting inputs, this subtractor is a part of a differential configuration. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಟ್ಟ ನಾವು ಏನು ಕಲ್ತ್ವಿ ಈಗ, ಇನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮೂರು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯಾವುದು, ಸಮ್ಮಿಂಗ್, averaging circuit and weighted amplifier. Non-inverting configuration ಒಳಗೂ ಮೂರು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್, summing, the weighted amplifier and the averaging circuit. And if I want to move ahead further and try to identify what would be the subtraction of the two voltages, then I'll be utilizing the inputs of both the terminals in inverting as well as non-inverting. Our scenario, this entire thing will be your differential configuration. So differential configuration, you will be getting the subtractor. And here also I can be using this differential configuration to do the summing. Difference ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಲೇ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಒಂದು ಟರ್ಮಿನಲ್ ನಾಗ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ either at the non-inverting terminal or at the inverting terminal. If I want to use a differential configuration and try to identify or try to build the summing amplifier, then I will be giving the inputs to both the terminals, that is to inverting as well as non-inverting. That we'll study once we are done with this. So this is quite simple. Here ultimately my agenda is to obtain, or will be getting the output voltage equation as the difference between the input voltages. And always remember, the voltage difference should be done something like this. The non-inverting terminal yav voltage kotirtiri, that will be the first voltage you should write, and the inverting terminal yav voltage kotirtiri, that should be the voltage you should write second. So now VA kotirtiri, it would be VA minus VB. Because I have given here VB, it is VB minus VA. So that's how you're supposed to write the differential configuration. Now let's write, let me call this as VA dash VB dash. Because this is VA dash and VB dash, why I am writing this as VA dash and VB dash? Because ultimately na illi ಏನು voltage ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ಆ voltage it is passing through the resistance and finally it is entering the op amp as VA dash. Similarly, na ಏನು voltage ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ultimately this is entering as VB dash. Just remember the very first class we tried to figure out how voltage division would play a vital role in identifying the inputs. ಯಾವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 10 ವೋಲ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಂಟರಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ op amp, that matters a lot. So whenever we try to identify the input voltages, it is the input voltage of the op amp we need to be considering. See here, e voltage nanu beku, it is not this voltage. See, this is the VA is the input voltage of the entire circuit, whereas VA dash is the input voltage of the op amp. Similarly, VB is the input voltage of the entire circuit because it is at the beginning of the circuit. VB dash is the input voltage of the op amp. So ನನಗೆ VA dash VB dash ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು. Again, very simple. VA dash ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is because of VA only it is coming. So ನನಗೆ VA ಇಂದ ಏನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗಿ VA dash ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಬೇಕು. So my VA dash is equal to the voltage division that is happening across this resistance R. Because I have taken all the resistance same, you may feel which resistance you are taking. It is yakna same tone last year, just to ensure all the things are getting cancelled out. Or we'll do this way. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡತ್ತ R1 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಂತ, ಇದನ್ನು R2 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಂತ, ಇದು R3, ಇದು R4. Yeah, let us do this way. So voltage division R1 divided by R1 plus R4 is on VA dash. Similarly, what is VB dash? VB dash is what? VB multiplied by R2 divided by R2 plus R3. So this is what is my VA dash and VB dash. This is the voltage which is entering your op amp. So E voltage and subtraction agutte. It is not exactly how exactly this voltage is getting subtracted. In fact, finally ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಂಗೆ ಇದೇ subtraction ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ, but actually entry ಆಗೋದು ಯಾವುದು VA dash and VB dash. Now here, if I consider R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to R4 equal to R, if I do this, then VA dash will be VA multiplied by ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ R ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ R divided by 2R ಅಥವಾ fine, this is fine. Then VB dash will be VB multiplied by R divided by 2R. R consider ಮಾಡಿದನಲ್ಲಿ. Fine. So what is that I'm getting? VA dash VA multiplied by R by 2R, VB dash equal to VB divided by R by 2R. And if I make R equal to 2R, R equal to 2R, hang ಮಾಡ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ this numerator R I'll be giving some value and the denominator value will be, or numerator R I'll be giving 2 times the value of numerator R. ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ what is the time getting? This term center will get cancelled. See, ultimately my basic agenda is to show you that how this output voltage will be acting as a difference between the input voltages. ನಂಗೆ ಅದು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ R values ನಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು equation. R values ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ unnecessarily it is leading to some complexity in the equation. So that is the reason I am making it all the R values are equal and I am cancelling out. I cancel ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, R1 equal to R2 equal to, I can do this way. R1 is equal to R2 equal to 2R, and then I can write R1 plus R4 and R2 plus R3 also equal to 2R or R. Very simple. Now look here, LL R1 ada R hakri, L R2 ada R hakri, L R1 plus R4 ada allu R hakri, L R2 plus R3 ada allu R hakri. So this is in my hand as a designer, I can be doing this. So adan ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, this entire terms will cancel out. So what is that finally I'm getting? VA dash equal to VA and VB dash equal to VB. And since they are entering the op amp, and basically the definition of op amp itself says it is going to do the subtraction between the input voltages whatever it is getting. So by that note, ultimately I'm going to get the output voltage as VB minus VA. So this is how your op amp can act as a in a differential configuration as a subtractor. So this is how the subtraction thing works. Now let's try to understand how the op amp can behave as a summing amplifier in the differential configuration. So let me rub this entire thing again. So the basic circuitry for my op amp will again would be something like this. Again I am going to consider both the terminals, inverting as well as non-inverting, but the difference is what I am going to give multiple voltages to the non-inverting terminal as well as to the inverting terminal. So this is how my circuit looks. So ಅಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾ resistance value ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಗೊಂಡು finally I again made ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು R1 equal to R2 equal to R, then R1 plus R2 plus R3 and R1 plus R4 equal to R. ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ finally I just made it as R. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾ resistance same ಮಾಡೋ ಬದಲಿ in the beginning only I can take all the resistance value as R. This will again lead to one simple thing, that is it is going to nullify the resistance value in the very beginning of the derivation whenever we try to do that. So let me try to name the voltages. So this is VA, this is VB, this is VC, this is VD. So again look at the difference. The difference is what, non-inverting configuration ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, so this portion was not there. This was my inverting configuration, isn't it? I did not had this, and this was my non-inverting configuration wherein I did give all the inputs to the non-inverting terminal. But now I am supposed to find the summing amplifier in differential configuration. So this is basically the application of the differential amplifier and how it is going to act as a summing amplifier. the circuit is going to remain same in the normal subtractor ಮತ್ತು summing amplifier in differential configuration again summing amplifier na ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ I am going to give multiple voltages to both the terminals. Subtractor ಒಳಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ I am going to give single voltage or single input voltage to each terminal, one at the non-inverting, one at the inverting. So that is the major difference. If this is the case, let's try to identify what will be my the voltages. Let's see, let's try to identify this as V1 node and V2 node. Alle nan VA dash VB dash anta tondide, here I am taking it as V1 and V2. So let's try to identify what will be my V1. V1 would be the voltage that is coming through VC and the voltage that is coming through R, but ultimately you have this R present over here. I'll tell you why this, what is this R, what is the need of this R. I'll try to discuss when I in the subsequent next concept. This is feedback resistance that has to be there. Fine. So nanaga V1 bekpa antandre it is a summation of VC and VD. So what is VC and VD, how it is going to come? So basically voltage VC nanaga bekpa antandre what is the voltage that is coming through this R nange beku. The voltage VC is coming through this R and ultimately it is entering here through this R. So what is the drop that is happening across this R because of this voltage VC? Again voltage division rule. So even bit let's assume that is not there. We'll apply the theorem of superposition theorem. We'll apply the concept of superposition theorem. So individual voltage I calculate martini, assuming that other voltage is not there, and then I'll add them together. So let's assume this is not there. VD illa anta assume mannata. So e voltage nanu illi yakandre ultimately what is the voltage V1 that is entering the op amp, that I should be knowing. So e V1 nanu bekpa antandre illi ಎಷ್ಟು drop ಆಯ್ತು because of VC. So because of VC nanu bekpa antandre VC multiplied by this resistance R divided by R plus R, which R and what, or let me write this way. I'm writing this in blue. So whichever the term I'm writing in blue, so that is the subsequent term. R divided by R plus. So this has to be look here, voltage across this R multiplied by VC, that is R multiplied by VC divided by this R plus R. So that will fetch me the value of V1 with respect to VC. But if illige movilla V1 with respect to VD no nange beku. So adange beku antandre I'll repeat the same thing with respect to VD. So this will be VD multiplied by R whole divided by R plus R. So R time naga VD calculate madbekare I'll assume that VC is not there. VC calculate madbekare I'll assume that VD is not there. So if I do this, this entire thing will come, and then finally I'll ensure that this numerator part of the resistance and the denominator part of the resistance are equal, and I'll try to cancel out the terms. So that will give me V1 is equal to VC plus VD. If V1 is equal to, I am getting VC plus VD, and if I do the same process over here, definitely I am going to get V2 equal to VA plus VB. Yakandre V2 in terms of VA bekpa antandre what I'll be doing, first I'll be assuming VB illa anta assume madkondo what is voltage at V2 because of VA, it will be V2 multiplied by VA multiplied by R divided by R plus this R. So if I just write here, V2 will be VA multiplied by R divided by R plus R plus VB multiplied by R divided by R plus R. Here R out, the R which are present here at the inverting terminal. So again I'll ensure that all these resistance value cancel out, and finally I'm getting V2 equal to VA plus VB. So that's what I'm getting over here. And because this V2 is connected to the inverting terminal, So this will be connected with a negative symbol indicating 180 degree out of phase. So these will be my equations 1 and 2 that will be arising because of VABCD, that is VABBCVD, which are connected to V1 and V2. So finally V1 and V2 next bantu. And if I want to add them together, or basically what is going to happen at the op-amp for the basic funda, it is going to give me the difference in the voltages over here. So ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬಂತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬಂತು, ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬಂತು V1 which is over here, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಬಂತು V2 which is over here. If I want to put them together, so what will be my output voltage equation? It will be V2 minus V1. Always remember this. This is what it is going to give you, V2 minus this is what it is going to give you the different values, and you have all the voltages over here. And if you can put the different voltages that you can find it over here, and the voltages V1 in terms of VC and VD, voltage V2 in terms of VB and VC, VB and VB. If I substitute over here, it will be the addition of all the voltages. So this is how the voltage is getting added in terms of, it will be something like this finally if I do the substitution. So ultimately if I substitute the voltages V1 and V2 in terms of VA, VB, VC, VD, I am going to obtain the values of the final output voltage in terms of VA, VB, VC, VD, which will be the addition of all the voltages that are present over here. So this is how the differential configuration also will provide you the outcome in terms of summation or in terms of summing amplifier. So that's about the different applications of all the three configurations. So inverting olagadenu nan summing amplifier anta use martini, non inverting nagu summing amplifier anta use martini, and even in the differential configuration also I'll be using the summing amplifier. But in the non inverting and inverting configuration I will not be using the subtraction or a subtractor. So that subtractor will be used only in the differential configuration. So if I want to summarize, inverting olagade I had summing amplifier, averaging, and then weighted circuit. Non-inverting configuration nolagu I had same as that of inverting configuration, but in the differential configuration I had the summing circuit and the subtractor circuit. So these are the different versions of applications that you can find using these three configurations. So these are the summary of the applications that what we are supposed to study in today's lecture. So we'll conclude this application part, and let's try to move ahead with what I was supposed to tell, the other concept. So let me stop this sharing over here. Can you see the presentation slide, guys? Can somebody reply?
Yes, sir.
Now here, let me try to give you some something about what is known as offset null circuitry. Now, why this is really an important thing when we talk about the op-amp? Basically, when the input is 0, the output must be 0. Or when we are connecting the same voltages to the inputs, the output should also be giving the value as 0. But most of the time in practical scenario, this doesn't happen. So that is mainly because of the noise thing that is present over here. And in order to combat the noises that are present at the both inverting and non-inverting terminal, I need to be using something called as offset voltage, or I need to be nullifying the effect of the excess noise or unwanted voltages which are giving me a wrong output at the output. So ನಾನು ಅದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ I use something called as offset null circuitry. So let's try to understand in terms of the inverting op-amp configuration and non-inverting configuration, as well as in terms of the what is known as differential configuration. Now there are something called as offset null circuitry which are built in the op-amp. If I can show you the op-amp pin configuration, a pin configuration on the input offset nulls pin anta baratta. So that is basically internally it will be connected something like this. The fourth terminal and the first terminal will be connected through a potentiometer over here. I can vary this pot. Idu ಏನು ಮಾಡತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ by varying this potentiometer, I can adjust the resistance, and whatever the outcome I am going to get in terms of resistance, that resistance I'll be applying over here. So this is offset minimizing circuit. So our OEM is used to minimize the effect of input bias currents on the output. So input bias currents under, like I was telling in one of the previous class, there are a lot of currents that are coming that are present inside the op-amp, because op-amp is basically, if I am considering MU741, it is made up of transistors or MOSFETs. So it will have a lot of currents, and that current will be creating some kind of noise signals over here, and that will be getting amplified in the output. So idanna nanu nullify madodikke I'll be using this ROM. So that's what I just showed you in the summing amplifier in differential configuration. And there was one resistance that was connected over here. So that is basically acting as an offset minimizing circuit. So this resistance, the value ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ R1 and RF parallel configuration combination of ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So this resistance will try to nullify the effect of the input bias currents. So this is in the inverting op-amp configuration how the offset null circuit can be used. And the same thing if I want to go ahead with the non-inverting configuration, everything will remain the same. The only difference here is, look here, what is that I did in the inverting configuration, input na inverting na kottide, and nullified voltage or offset minimizing voltage I had given at the terminal 3. In the non-inverting configuration also, I am going to give the input to the non-inverting configuration, but offset minimizing voltage position, offset minimizing resistance position change agilla. It will be always at terminal 3 just after the input voltage. And again I'll be using the pot over here to adjust the resistances that can be which can ensure the offset voltage that is arising because of some unwanted signals can be minimized. So this is basically the configuration that I can be using in terms of non-inverting circuit. So when it comes to the differential configuration, so as you can see over here in the differential configurations, I'll be using both the inputs Vx, Vy, and I'll be using the offset minimizing circuit at instead of using separately over here, I'll be directly connecting a potentiometer over here, and by default it will be considering the resistances that is offered by this potentiometer to combat the nullified voltage. So this is what about the offset voltage null circuitry. We'll try to stop it over here, and then we'll try to continue with some more concepts, especially with respect to external offset voltage compensating network and some numericals in the next class. And in next class we are also going to discuss about the what is known as instrumentation amplifier. So basically we'll stop it over here, and we can meet in the next class. So I have already floated the attendance links. You can just open the attendance link and try to give the attendance. The code for today's attendance is 1828. Hello. 1828.
Hello, sir.
Hello, pa.
Sir, null circuit enum hai sir.
Null circuit, yes. See here, the input whatever I am applying to the inverting terminal. See, when I apply any voltage to the, when I don't apply any voltages, output should be 0. Yakandre na enu voltage apply madilla. But what is happening, na enu input apply madlardage nanaga output, some output it is going to come. So na adike en martinappa antandre, before applying the input, I'll try to compensate the extra voltages that is arising because of the bias currents that are present in the op-amp. Na input voltage apply madokinta munchene I'll try to nullify the effect of the currents. ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗ್ nullify ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಈ bias currents ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾವ, because of the biasing circuit that is, or because of the transistor that is present inside the op amp. ಆ resistance ಎಷ್ಟದ ಅದರ exact opposite resistance na ಇಲ್ಲಿ connect ಮಾಡಿ I'll try to nullify the effect of the voltages that is arising because of the bias current. ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, before I apply the input voltage. Once I feel that when there is no input voltage is applied and I am going to get the output voltage as 0, then I can say that okay, op amp is in standstill state, it is in stable state. Then I will be applying the input voltage. Illana enagatta, if I apply the input voltage, I am going to get the output voltage definitely fine. But ಈ output voltage ಒಳಗೆ ನಂಗೆ ಏನು ಬಂದಿರ್ತೈತಿ, noise component to add ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಆ noise component ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ because of the different noise sources that are present externally or because of the bias currents that are flowing inside the op amp. No, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಆ currents ನ before applying the actual input I try to nullify. ಆ nullify ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ನಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಆಫ್ಸೆಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸಿಂಗ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್. ಸಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಹೈ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನಲಿಫೈಡ್. ಇಫ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಲಿಫೈಡ್ ದೆನ್ ದ ಬಯಾಸ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನಲಿಫೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ the pin configuration 1 and I connect it potentiometer over here and try to play with this potentiometer. Our resistance to e resistance nanu equate ಮಾಡಿ I'll try to ensure that the current is nullified. And this all entire exercise will happen before I apply the actual input voltage. Once I feel that this input voltage noise currents or extra currents are nullified, then I apply the input voltage. ಈಗ ನೀವು the simple example, ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ they will use the digital weights. Digital weight ಮ್ಯಾಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರ, then they will press a button, it will make it as 0. ಹೌದಾ, ಆ weight ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. So they are nullifying the effect of that weight. So similarly I am nullifying the effect of the bias currents that are flowing over here. So that is basically the advantage of this offset null circuit. I hope this is clear now.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what was the code I gave to you for the attendance? I just forgot. If you can remember, you can just write it. 1828, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fine then. So we'll stop it over here. Then we can continue in the next class. Thank you. Guys, just give me a feedback on how was the today's class with respect to whiteboard and the PPT. PPT, of course, it is there.
Sir,